I was the second of 8 children, and being number 2, I always tried harder. My parents loved to go out walking in the countryside, and my mother would identify flowers, my father would identify birds, and I just was so embarrassed by my parents leaping around in the woods going, "Oh, I spy a lesser spotted whatever." And so by the time I was a teenager, I decided I was never going to do this again. When we moved up here, we lived out in Preston. I, at that time, was running long distance, and it was just magical. You'd run through the woods and jump over the little crooks and stuff. And that was when I realized that this was stuff. I mean, I realized it was great, but that's when I realized it was vulnerable. Because I was working for the paper, I was covering DNR's Tiger Mountain plan for how were they going to manage what was really an urban forest. And Harvey Manning was on the commission, and he said to me, "One person can make a difference." And he said, "Now you know that, that's your responsibility, and you can't avoid it." So this is what I call the curse of Harvey Manning.
She's a woman with boundless energy. I mean, boundless energy. Her real passion in open space preservation is the land that we protect. She recommended to our board that we start having field trips and taking our donors out to see the properties that we were protecting. And she was always on the ground looking at the projects.
That's tremendously satisfying, just to go out to a place like the Olympic Peninsula or Willapa Bay and look at it and say, yeah, that's where it's going to be forever.
Well, I describe her as a punch in the nose when, so, you know, she's not somebody you would ignore. She has endless dedication. What she's got, she will expend. I think we're lucky to have her fighting these fights for us.
A powerful message for the legislators. They don't hear enough from the, quote, real people. And so never underestimate what you're achieving by being here.
I am just so glad that Maryanne came to Washington State, because we have benefited from her involvement in so many ways.
The fact that you have all made this journey here today.
She has such an open mind to new ideas, at the same time a very strong strength of purpose. And that combination is just tremendous.
First you have the love of the forest and the wild places, and then you have the realization of the vulnerability, and then you have, actually I can do something.